Hi everyone, thanks for joining me here on Herzography. Doing a little scouting and looking around for some locations to do a little bit of focus stacking and some other techniques on this beautiful day here in Arizona. So I hope you'll join me and we'll see what we can find and look forward to having you along for the ride. Got some beautiful mountains. Might be able to see them out the corner up over here that we're going to take a look at. I'm just still cruising around looking to see what else I can find. All right, taking a little excursion out into the Arizona area here and looking at some mountains and some compositions. So stick with me and we're going to take a little walk here and see what we can find on this overcast day that doesn't happen very often. And this is kind of what we're looking at over here. Hopefully you can see the mountain there in the background. And I'm kind of looking for a standard image, if you will, something that has some kind of cool cactus in the foreground that are kind of glowing, and then the mountains in the background. So I can do a little bit of experimenting with a couple of different techniques in putting together some different exposure compensation and some focus stacking and things like that. All right, so we're on the ultimate lookout for just a very simple setting with some cactus in the foreground, the mountains in the background, and looking to see what that might give us in the way of some possible focus stacking techniques that we can take a look at. All right, so as you know, what I've been suggesting for quite a while now, instead of using any kind of visual scope to kind of look through, that sort of thing, is just to use your cell phone, because your cell phone has a lot of great magnification features on it, and that'll make it a lot easier for you in trying to see approximately what focal length you want to use, and kind of like almost like doing a scouting image. So let me go ahead and I am going to see if I can get the camera to flip around. And here I'm just in the same place here, so you can see this is going to give me a look like that, or possibly like this. What I'm trying to do right now is just to take a look and see, well, if I was, depending upon what lens I use to get these beautiful mountains in the background and some cactus in the foreground, something like this, it's showing me that that's like a 2x. So I'm looking at probably my 24 to 70 as probably being a pretty good lens to use. Now, if I get a little closer to some of these choias, you know, trying to see what might work. Can I do any framing? Perhaps get a little closer. Always have to be careful where you're walking in these deserts because of cactus and rattlesnakes and things like that. So let's see how we're doing here, and trying to see what might work. Got that neat cactus in the background. I'm not sure if I want to shoot in between like this. That's kind of hokey a bit, even though it is kind of some cool framing. Or coming across perhaps like over here, that I might be able to get close to this cactus And that cactus in the background may be something like this. I don't get all these choias off of me because they're everywhere. So let me take a look. That's kind of neat like that, but I really want to get those mountains back in there. So I'm probably going to have to move around a bit and now try that's right under this choya, and I just don't think I want to get that close to it. They don't call them jumping choyas for nothing. And so now let's take a look, coming across over here, and see some other choyas in the background. I'm going to take a quick walk, see if I can find something else. All right, I found a hole in the fence. You can see it back there. There's a little wedding party back there. But I am currently back on the trail, coming a little bit closer to the mountain that you can see behind me. And we'll see what else we can find as we are getting a little closer.
Hey, good morning.
Hi. Beautiful area. Lots of possibilities, lots of options. And I think I'm going to park myself up here somewhere and then we'll get to work. Okay, approaching this area right in here, which looks pretty promising. Some nice cactus in the foreground, some choyas, some other cactus. And this, I think, will be a great place where we can just stop and try a couple of different photographic techniques and see how we do with all that in testing all that out. So stick with me, I'm going to get things set up. All right, everyone. I'm getting things set up. I got my main tripod set up, and as I mentioned, I was going to start out with the 24-70 lens. I'm not going to put any filters on it at this point, but of course I want to make sure that I've got plenty of battery. I've got a fresh battery in here, and I'm just going to make some little changes here to make sure that I am set up with my landscape settings, which are a little bit different because my landscape settings are set up so that I'm using black and white on my viewfinder, which I mentioned before. Let's see, right now I'm at f11 ISO 100, and you know, normally I'd say I don't mind where the shutter speed is going, but as you can probably see on a day like today, it's pretty windy, and so I'm going to have to think about if the wind is going to be a factor on a long shutter speed, as I'm doing, even though it's just cactus. The cactus in the foreground I don't think will matter, but in the foreground that can be something where I might have to adjust the shutter speed and then blend images together. But we'll take a look at that as I'm getting all that set up. So at this point, we'll take a look, and I'm going to level the head on the tripod. So now I can just place this wherever I want. All right, everyone, I'm going to be doing a little bit of focus stacking here, so I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. And let me turn this a bit so that way you can kind of see, as I'm showing you in the viewfinder, what I'm kind of seeing. So as you're looking through the viewfinder, I'm going to show you I'm using focus peaking. So you can see that area in the foreground right here is going to be giving me those red highlights. And then as I'm moving it, you can see that now I'm getting more red, less red up here, but more red down in here. And then as I keep turning it, you'll see the scale is going up and I'm getting more in focus there and then back in here. Now you can see that I'm shooting on f8 because f8 really is a sweet spot of this lens. And because I'm doing focus stacking, I want everything to be really sharp wherever my focus is. There's no reason to shoot wide open in doing a shot like this. So I'm going to take these images. I'm going to turn off the recording now. And then I'm going to go ahead and do these shots. Slowly turning the focusing ring to increase the distance and just keep moving it, and I'll probably do about 4 images and then the final one at infinity, and then I put my finger up like this, and that lets me know that when I'm looking at my images back in Lightroom, where I'm going to find those images. Between the finger shots are going to be the images that are being used for the focus stack. All right, I'm going to get set and try some different filters. Here is my Maven Go bag, if you will, that has all of the main filters that I normally shoot with. And I am going to clip it on here, so that makes it a little bit easier to get to. I think the first thing that I'm going to try, because I haven't used this filter before, it is a combination polarizer with some diffusion in it. So the diffusion, or the show glow, it's known by a number of different names, kind of gives this just a little bit of dreamy effect. So let's take a look and see how that works with this. And now I want to see, there's not a whole lot of sun today, so it's not going to really help with the background. But let me take a look and see. Oh, that is interesting. It does kind of soften everything. Let me show you what I'm seeing. Very interesting effect. It does kind of give a little bit of intensity to the greens and the mountains, but not to the point of it being too intense. If you're new at this, then I really advise using an app, and I'll show you the app that I'm going to explain right here. I'm not using it right now because I've used the focus peaking enough to kind of know how that's going to work for me in being able to do some of these different focus stacking. But using the app that I'm going to show you here, I'll try to have it on the screen over here. You know, you put in your focal length, you put in what f-stop you want to use, and then it's going to bring up the hyperfocal distance. And I know I've seen photographers talk about, you know, it's 1/3 forward, 2/3 back, and what does all that mean? And, you know, how many feet away? And then you're trying to guess how many feet away it is. And it's like, you know, I don't want to do the guesswork of all that. Focus peaking is just much more accurate because that's going to change with your focal length. So when you look at the app over here and you take a look at a 24mm versus 50mm, as you change your focal length, your hyperfocal distance is going to change. So your nearest to your furthest, all that's going to change. And so you can look at the app to try to determine where you think you need to be for that hyperfocal distance. And where it comes in handy is when you don't want to do focus stacking. And let's say you just want to do one image. So you want to do one image because let's say it's really windy and you don't think you're going to be able to blend it. You have a waterfall, a stream, something like that, and or waves at the ocean, and you just want to take one shot. So this is where the app comes in really handy, being able to determine how close you can be to be able to get that part in focus all the way to infinity. And I found the app to just be invaluable in situations like that. Not so much for this, but in that case where you just want to do one image, use the app. It's a great piece of software. PhotoPills does that, and if you're getting serious about shooting and you want to know when the moon's going to come up or the sun and you want to know what direction and where to be, I recommend PhotoPills. There's another app that was mentioned that I've seen that I haven't used, but a couple of great apps out there that'll really help you with a lot of these different photographic needs that you wind up having once you get out there. And what that looks like, and I'll see you very soon.